Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 25th. I think it's Tuesday. I have no idea what day it is. Good morning, fellas. What is going on?
Good morning.
Good morning. I agree with you. I have no clue what day it is anymore, and the days just seem to go by quicker than I could even blink.
Could have been a Friday. As I was saying that, it could have been a Friday. I had no idea, but hey. Big day in my world. Today starts RV season for 2025. Getting that bad boy, heading to inspection to those wonderful boys down there at Carnegie Motors. So if you have an RV, you need local Pittsburgh work, send it there.
Send it on down to the Carnegie Motor boys. Funny you should say that. I'm taking the old Tahoe down to Carnegie Motors today at 9 a.m. as well for the yearly auto inspection. I think I might need an oil change too, but they do it all down there.
Yep. Anth, you got any inspections you need done?
I'm coming up in July. It's coming up.
Couple months for him.
So, fellas, today we're talking about appraisal waivers. We hear a lot in the industry about, hey, so-and-so lender didn't need to complete an appraisal, or hey, why did Billy get an appraisal and Susie didn't need an appraisal, and all that fun stuff. First off, okay, we want to be as efficient as possible. We want to make sure we get closing done as quickly as possible so you as real estate agents gets paid. That's number one. That's what the appraisal waiver is all about. It's about efficiency. But we don't flip a coin to pick which clients get an appraisal waiver and which clients don't get an appraisal waiver. One, you have to meet certain guidelines. Only on conventional loans, have to have at least now 10% down. Used to be 20% down, now it's 10% down. And then we put it through an automated underwriting system, and it literally tells Anthony, Tom, and Ryan, I think that's how the song goes, if we're getting an appraisal waiver or not. So, Anth, it's crazy because some folks think like, hey, can you get Billy an appraisal waiver? And we all know that's not how it really works.
Yeah, the appraisal waiver is actually, I mean, it's great when you get one because it definitely saves on time, saves the client the appraisal money, but there is multiple factors. So, 10% down minimum. It does base it on the overall, though. The government has to have data on that property or that area to substantiate at least the purchase price. So if that happens, as well as, debt ratio is good, credit's good, it's a whole thing of factors, but that appraisal waiver comes through and, we're saving the client money and saving on time. So.
Yes, exactly. So here's the idea, though. It's more than what Anth is just saying. It's more than saving the buyer just money on the appraisal. If you work with us properly, if the buyer goes through the proper pre-approval steps before you put that offer in, we can tell you if we have an address, if the buyer's fully approved, we can tell you if there's an appraisal waiver. So just think as a buyer's agent. If you know an appraisal does not need to be done by the financing company because they're getting an appraisal waiver, how much stronger you can put that offer in, because frankly, no appraisal is needed for financing, so it will not be completed. That's how our work is done. When the buyer is pre-approved, Tom, we can throw that address through automated underwriting, and then it will tell us if we're getting that appraisal waiver, and it definitely behooves us to get that info sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, that is such an advantage to us as helping your client and working with your client so closely. Appraisal waiver is a great thing. We want appraisal waivers. There's too many people out there that negatively think about them and say, oh man, this one got an appraisal waiver. I was hoping this house would have came in 20 under. And that's just not how the business should work. You should never put that offer in if you thought that it was going to appraise under. You put the offer in for what the house is worth. And if the appraisal waiver is there, then it's obviously saying that house is worth that money from the past data. I think the appraisal waiver is the greatest thing when originating a mortgage. it just rolls out one more thing that the clients, the agents, us as lenders have to worry about. And it's such a big deal and such an awesome thing for the buyers to be able to save the money as well.
It greatly reduces the timeline for mortgage processing. Again, it saves an easy $550 at least. Who doesn't want to save that? It increases the efficiency. It gets everyone to closing, gets everyone paid quicker. And like you said, Tom, the government is deciding if there's an appraisal waiver. They're not flipping a coin either. They've been building a database for over a decade. Anthony had hair. I'll keep throwing that joke out every single week I can. They had hair when they started. He's had hair when they started collecting appraisal data. So, I mean, this is a pretty damn good system, and it is here to help buyers through the processing.
And you know what? That'll actually help with their offer as far as that appraisal contingency. You know, everybody's talking about how do I submit the best solid offer that I can? And a lot of people are waiving appraisal contingencies, inspections, and things like that. Obviously, we're not going to recommend that. But in that same token, if we get an appraisal waiver, your offer may look better than somebody else who doesn't, who their lender didn't actually do the work to promote that appraisal waiver. So you might get an offer accepted in that instance because of that. So
absolutely. It'd be pretty nice not to have an appraisal contingency because you know the lender is not going to need an appraisal. That makes your offer look stronger. And like Anth said, that's a perfect way to put a stronger offer in without having to increase purchase price. There are many ways you can look at offers and make them stronger without simply increasing purchase price. And that's what we're trying to do here. But again, you need to work with us. It needs to be a team effort when you're putting that offer in. Call us, put the estimate in, talk to us. What are we thinking? Hey, can this buyer get an appraisal waiver? Again, if they're not going conventional and they don't have at least 10% down, they can't get an appraisal waiver. But if they do meet that mold, if they are fully approved, if we have income documentation, we can then run it through and figure it out. But please remember, it is address specific. If we put an offer in on 123 Main Street and we got an appraisal waiver, that doesn't mean 1234 Main Street will have an appraisal waiver. It is absolutely property specific. And just because the neighbor got an appraisal waiver doesn't mean this neighbor gets an appraisal waiver. It all is about the data the government has on that specific property.
No, yeah, well said. I mean, again, we keep throwing it out there. Appraisal waivers are good things. There's too many people out there thinking that it's something bad and negative. It is a good thing to get an appraisal waiver.
Yeah, we are not here as a mortgage company to negotiate down purchase prices. We receive a sales agreement. The property has to appraise for the purchase price or the appraised value, whichever is less. That's what we go off of. So if you're looking to get a lower price off of an appraisal, you are looking at the system completely wrong. That's not what we're here for. Negotiate your lower price before it gets to the financing company, because again, we have to go off of data, not off of what we always hear this, right? Buyer and seller agree to this purchase price. That's what the home is worth. Not true. Absolutely not true. That's what it's worth on the real estate side. That is not what it's worth on the financing side. The second you decide that you need a mortgage, the home is worth what the appraiser says it's worth, and that is based off of comparable properties. It really has nothing to do with what buyer and seller agree to on this specific transaction. You have to have the comps to match your sale if you're getting a mortgage. If you don't like that process, go to $1 million listing, do your all cash offers, and good luck in life. But when you need mortgages, we need to follow the mortgage rules.
Yep, 100%. Good stuff.
Mr. LaPera, you got anything else for us?
All solid info.
Yeah. So again, guys, call us if you have buyers putting in offers and you want to make your offer stronger. Work with your loan officer. Don't just hit them up after the fact that we got an offer accepted. There are ways that on the financing side, we can help make your offer stronger. So there you go. Go get them. It seems like the seal is off. The spring market is here. So put your helmets on. It's hard hat time. And we'll throw some other Mike Tomlinism out there. And the standard is the standard. And let's go get them, fellas.
The floodgates have opened. Let's just say that. It is hot and heavy out there. Get yourself some deals.
Yep. Get pre-approved because a month can be too late. Have a good Tuesday.
See you guys.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony